Yo, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for being here. A pleasure, a pleasure, a pleasure, a pleasure. Thank you, thank you, thank you. No, but for real, thank you very much. Here, have a seat. So, my name is Elijah Starr. I hope you knew that. I hope you knew that. The jokes are gonna be funny. They won't. No, but my name is Elijah Starr. I appreciate you coming through. This is actually my first comedy special. Believe it or not. There it is. Thank you. Yeah, so a little pressure on it, but no worries. No worries. We're gonna do some stuff. How you doing, sir? All right. All right. Congratulations. Anyway, so it's all part of a series I'm calling Conversations to be Canceled For. Right? Because it's a whole thing. Cancel culture. The culture of canceling people. And listen, I don't have a problem with it, you know. Because I don't have nothing. I don't have nothing to lose. Right? Who y'all shooting down? Big wigs and, you know, I get a little taste of it here or there, but yeah. Yeah. You know, Weinsteins and stuff. Like, you guys are shooting down Goliath. I don't have a problem with that, you know. Goodbye. Make some room. But also, like, low key, because Me Too in particular, right? It was started by a black woman. I have to look up her name. I'm not gonna lie, I have difficult saying it. You know, I should have read my notes before I came. No, but it's I don't even want to mess it up. But starts with a T. It's like Tarajan. I'm messing it up. But at any rate, this visionary really started the hashtag, started the whole thing to benefit young black girls, you know, who are battling sexual molestation, any number of these things. That's what it was designed for. That's how it was started, from my understanding. And rich old white ladies got a hold of it. And there you go. Me too. So, I mean, that's kind of meh. That's the same playbook. You know, black folks do some stuff and then here come the bandwagon. You know, after we've taken our lumps, here come everybody else. Oh yeah, me too. But anyway, so some conversations that basically, if you're trying to have, so you know, separate from that, some conversation you're trying to have that could possibly put you somewhere in the space of cancellation. Like, it's going to inch you towards that area. Like, there's certain stuff you can't talk about anymore without ruffling feathers at the very least, if not just losing your job because you said some stuff. But there's a respectful way to have these conversations. I'm not saying I'm going to be respectful, but there is, in fact, a way to talk about these things without having to agree with every single thing, and also being able to be respectful, you know, of people. Anyway, so this first one is completely disrespectful, though. It's not really, but it's entitled Toxic Femininity. Hey. Stop throwing those stones. No, but I mean, we talk about toxic masculinity all the time, and we should, right? But for this conversation that nobody will let you have, I'm talking about toxic femininity. Toxic ass, you know what I'm talking about. You know, so, right. If you're a dude and you're toxic and you like, you know, here are my muscles and I don't cry and, I'm kind of an asshole, but women love it. Like that whole thing, bro. Let's evolve, right? Somewhere there's a woman that likes that. I don't know. I don't really associate with that stuff. Let's evolve. I'm not with it at all. But for the people who want to evolve past some of that stuff, past some of those paradigms and those balances, where are the women that are also trying to like where are the women that are evolving? And I know what you're gonna say, like, oh, but see, these men been messing up so long, and that's why, fuck them. Like, but that's not that's not evolution, baby. Like, how are we gonna grow past the trauma if we just gonna rehearse the trauma, from another angle? That's not gonna help us. So toxic femininity. And I expect to get some calls or less calls. Don't nobody call me anyway. But I expect to hear some stuff about it. But, what you gonna do? Like, somebody gotta say this stuff. Like, for me, my entire life, women, I date black women, I'm related to black women, so black women in particular, just by association. Just by association, I have gotten my ass whipped by black women physically my entire life. Like, my whole life, though. My whole life. So, starting from when I was really, really, really young. And of course that goes against the paradigm, blah, 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 toxic masculinity. But I'm like, these women had their own idea as to what they were able to do, and it was okay. And of course, I can't raise my hand to them because it's not even about chivalry. Like, I love women so much. No, I do though. Cause like when I was younger, I was child. Like, we're talking about 7 years old. So we are playing in the park. You know how it is. Go outside. Get out the house, basically. Your parents, they trying to clean, or they just trying to not deal with child stuff for like, some extended period of time, and go outside. So we outside. I'm at my auntie's house. I got my cousins with me, and they a little rah-rah. And we're outside, and they start in on this neighbor. Now me, I'm empathic. I've always been. I just now sort of, got some language to kind of talk about it in a way. But this neighbor, and they just got into a disagreement with her. But I'm kind of observing from the background, and I'm like, they shouldn't be doing this. Like, so I'm like approaching her. I'm trying to find a way in the conversation to try to comfort her. She turns around, steals on me, like, pow! Why are you so close? Pow! Like, just punches me, and then rears up and tries to, see if she wants to go for another couple of rounds. And I'm like, ouch, and I start crying, Whatever. And when my cousins saw that, they laughed their asses off. No, they thought it was hilarious. Ooh, you got beat by a girl. And I was like, I did. I'm not gonna steal on this one. Because here's the other thing, and they knew it. The young lady I saw just from the side where I was standing, like they're standing in front of her, basically harassing her. And I'm standing over here, kind of just doing my own thing, but kind of approaching the situation. And I could just see in her ear. I said, oh, that's a hearing aid. I'm like 7. That's a hearing aid. She probably has trouble, oh, that's why her articulation is different. Blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm calculating all this stuff about this young girl. And she's like 10. She's a little bit older than me. So I'm not now going to be like, oh, you punching people, going to start stealing on her. It wasn't about chivalry, nothing like that. I had sincere compassion for this person. And I didn't know or have quick enough language to communicate it. So, boom, we leave the situation. We're not far from the house. We just walk back to the house. She's a neighbor. We're going to see her around. But, we just walk back to the house. You know how it is. It used to be you have fights and then you friends the next day. And now, like, I don't know what happens. Like, it's terrible. Like, people shoot whole schools because they're not friends. it's a lot. It's just too much. But we go back to the house, chilling, and of course, my cousins have been laughing now for 20 minutes straight, and we walk in the house, and I think, let me go chill, rest my face from all this, punching it's received, and the first thing they do is tell my auntie, "Oh, you should have saw it." I'm like, "Bro, you should have saw it. He got punched, and then he got punched, and then she was like, "Okay, what did you do?" And they told her what I did, which was nothing. I cried. So she said, "What?" And she said, "What? You let some girl beat your ass?" And I was like, I guess technically. And, and then she goes up to me, punches me, and then pushes me to the floor. I'm like, that's 2 in one day. Ass whippings by black women. At like 7. So ultimately, she kept yelling at me about it, and I'm like reluctant. Really, I'm stalling for time. I'm like, okay, so I feel obligated to do, something that resembles what she's asking me to do. But what I actually want to do is just kind of talk to her. So maybe that's what I'll do. So I stalled a little bit more and, gave her a chance to basically not be there when I get back outside. And I walk outside. I'm like, all right. I take a lap or so, not fervently, just pretty lackadaisical stroll and in the general vicinity. But, of course, she's long gone. And I go back to the house. And like she wasn't there. All right, so that's the first time, prominently. I mean, there's been some other instances, but I just get my ass beat by girls. It's a thing that happens. Black women in particular. Not really. Okay, so here's another instance. Well, I didn't get beat, so I guess I'm still. My record stands. The only people who beat my ass are black women. But me and my brother, we used to walk to school together. Not for a long time because there was some gaps in the years or whatever. So we're walking to school, and young lady, her name was, I remember her name, Valerie. I'm pretty sure they were from Japan, but they were definitely Asian. And her and her little brother, sweet girl, she was lovely. I thought she was beautiful. Even now I could see, and I remember us being in the same classes, and I had affection for her at that age. And it was, I had to be maybe 10 years old, something like that. So anyway, she's walking home, Valerie, and her little brother, really tiny, like probably small for his age. Like, how are you walking kind of small? Like, you ever see babies walking and you're like, you're magic. You are magical. How are you even doing that? So that kind of small. And so he's walking with her, and for some reason, my brother is highly dissatisfied with whatever it is. I'm pretty sure they couldn't even fully grasp the colloquial language, but maybe English in general was new to them as well. It definitely was a second language to them. So I'm like, at that age, like 10, whatever, however old I was, I'm still thinking like, bruh, you can't really have an argument with a person that doesn't even speak the same language as you. That's a level of difficulty. Like, I try to explain myself to people who speak English their whole life, and it pisses me off. Like, I can't muster the strength to try to argue with somebody, when I know the language barrier is going to be crazy. So, but he's going in on this little kid, and my brother, who's big for his age, Josh was pretty big, even when he was younger. So I'm like, bro, and he's half your size and built like toothpicks, on a potato. Please leave him alone. And I'm like, let's go. I'm pulling him on, we're in front of my friend's Alex's house, Alex Hughes. I shouldn't say his last name. Alex's house. But I'm pulling on him like, yo, let's go. Let's go. And I see his sister looking at me and seeing me kind of pull him away. But Josh is determined. He's like, no, this this tiny little potato stick man, he's gonna get it. I'm like, oh. So finally, she revs up, she hauls up and kicks him in the groin. It was bad. It was really bad. It was terrible. It was not a good thing. But yeah, she hauls off and kicks him in the groin, and he felt it down to his bone. In the moment, I felt terrible. I like, dang. I told you we need to leave. I felt so bad. And she got into a stance. She was like, and I'm not scared of her. I mean, she's like a bird. She's just really elegant, as a person, just beautiful. She had a little bob cut and stuff. She was beautiful to me. So I didn't want to fight her because I liked her, but I also didn't want to fight her because why am I fighting you? You know what I mean? Why exactly? So she got into her stance, ready to go, and I'm like, okay, Joshua, you got your balls kicked. Can we go now? Mission accomplished. You done fucked around, and now you done found out. Can we leave now? So, wasn't my ass getting kicked, so technically it doesn't count, I guess. But there was some ass kicking. Yeah. But anyway, so I was challenged, though, to a fight, and I had to walk away from, a girl fight, essentially. So, fast forward, right? I'm telling you. It's quite a list. There's a list. There's a whole list. But, like, when I got older, it didn't stop. Now I'm, however tall I am now, 6'2" plus, blah, blah, blah pounds, People call that intimidating. Oh, you're so tall. Nope. Not to a black woman. She will still try to beat my ass. And toxic femininity. Listen, so my cousin, I'm at my grandma's house chilling. You're right, a lot of danger around cousins, I'm just saying. But I'm chilling at my grandma's house, and I said something about her baby. It wasn't like, I didn't say, oh, look at his square head or nothing. I didn't say nothing foul. I said something, though, like, so why do you pick that baby food? What? And she jumped up and pinned me against the door and started swinging on me, and and she was going at it like, someone, snatched her wig or something. So she was going at me. No, I love her. God bless her. But she was swinging on me and making contact, frankly. But my grandmother, bless her heart, passed away recently. She jumped up and got in between us and basically stopped the whole thing. Like, I was impressed, actually. She was 80 plus. Emphasis on the plus. I mean, she might have been a good 90. And she was like it was Creed or something. She was like, pop, 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 pop. Like, I'm like, wow. I mean, me and my cousin were, I was maybe 19. My cousin was maybe 18, a little bit younger. Yeah, but grandma got squabbles, low key. I didn't fully understand the ramifications and the extent to which, grandma could go. No, I loved her. She's such a sweetheart. Such a sweet spirit in the world, But so eventually she stopped trying to swing on me and sat down, because of grandma and her Creed level skills in the boxing ring. Anyway, so I talked to her later on, and she was like, oh, okay, well, about it, she talked to me about it later. Anyway, so these are the instances. I'm telling you, if we gonna evolve as people, in our women are like this, we got we can't just talk about, because these are the people raising the boys. These are the people raising the boys. Like when my auntie told me to go out there and beat that girl's ass, she thought she was teaching me how to be a man. Like, so first of all, why are you teaching a boy how to be a man? And then two, why is being a man by definition a toxic behavior? Like so in order for me to even qualify for manhood, I gotta be toxic as fuck? Like, that's something you gotta correct in more than one place. That's not, you can't just be in one area trying to solve that. You gotta disinfect that whole shit on all sides. For real. Really, I hate that I'm doing this. I ain't gonna lie to you. I hate I'm doing this because I love women so much. Like, for real, for real. I don't want to be a woman because I love me too. Well, I can't even say that phrase, right? That's the wrong thing. I love me as well. But yeah, really, like, sincerely. And I have maybe some expectations, whatnots, and they get disappointed sometimes, whatever. I know some women who be like, oh, because I'm cute. Shut up. I'm cute. So there's some women that be like, oh, man, oh, you going toxic femininity? All right, I was going to throw you some booty, but now forget about it. They're lying, of course, because exactly. If you was going to, you would have. No, because I deal with older women, right? I'm older. You can't tell. I got the baby face, I guess. But I'm grown, right? But I've always loved grown women. Even though I was young, I was still like, had crushes on my teachers and stuff like that. So, which is a common thing, but, too common, but like the teachers crushing back, and it's every day now on the news, and it's horrifying. Crush is one thing, it's innocence, but like actually going from crushing to smashing. Let's not blur the lines, folks. But no, I always loved older women, but it's their sophistication, and it's it's their ability to just kind of be in their space, comfortable, and it just unaffected, unbothered, like, man, and beautiful, and I always feel like I think everybody should get married young, right? Because then you have all these memories of who this person was throughout their lives. And when they were younger, you remember the younger person, but you remember the grown person, and you have that same twinkle, in your eye, because you remember the younger person, but you see the older person in the younger person, and the younger person also in the older person's, who they are. It's just beauty, in that. I think that's real partnership, real love, But out here in these streets, no, because these older women, beautiful, love it, but they've been through it, and they're not really trying to have sex. They still like the power of sex. Like, they still want to control a man, get a free meal or two. Ladies, don't lie. They want that free meal, but they're not really trying to have, actual, intimate relationship with somebody, because you got to go through so much stuff. I understand. Like, okay, so this you got to explain the stretch marks, and it's cool. Like, whoever loves you should love all the pieces, facts. But like, having to explain that to a new person, that's got to be shitty as fuck. It's shitty, and they trying to get the most. They want the most. They want the most penis, They want the most muscles. They want the most bank account. Like, how big can it get? All three. You know, I wanna make sure I get the most out of my commodity, of booty. And I'm like, come on, sis, like, don't be like that. You know what I mean? Love somebody, and let them have portions of the bigness that you want. But, it's not easy. I don't imagine so. It's not easy for me. I know it's not easy out here for these ladies. But you was never going to throw me no ass, so stop lying. So I'm going to go ahead and say what the fuck I need to. No, but it's crazy because women spend so much time telling their partners, and it's only black women. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. I love you, sisters. God bless you, goddesses. You have something special. Absolutely. But you be talking hella shit. All the shit. You know what I mean? I don't know nobody else, like, in their culture, like a part of their culture. Is it really other places that women will just look you in your face and say, you ain't a man? Like, it's like, damn, just nothing. Yo, be a man. I'm like, what? Be a man. I need a real man. I need, like, damn. Like, they just got all the knowledge of manhood. Somehow black women just cornered the market on knowing what a man is. Like, I don't know any other race of women that I heard saying, maybe I need to get out more. I don't know, but I don't know why it says that shit. It will just say that to their person, like, be a man. And it's an invocation and an implication, that is completely farce. Like, only thing I need to do, literally, to be a man is have a penis and get older. There's not really a whole lot else involved. There's not a whole lot of stuff involved. You know what I mean? I just have to keep getting older, and have, the necessary genitals. It's not a lot. No, but like, every time somebody says that invocation, be a man, they always try to get you to act against your own self-interest. I'm going to repeat that shit because I'm smart. Every time somebody tells you, be a man, or anything they attach, your identity to, they're invoking you to do something, right? And when it comes to man, it's always in your against your own self-interest. Think about it. Okay. Like my auntie, she was like, be a man, go out there, beat the shit out of that girl. I mean, it's not in my own self-interest, one, to get into a confrontation with somebody who, let's say she does feel threatened by me. So she's going to come back, escalate, maybe stab me in the face. Then I'm not cute anymore. Thanks a lot, auntie. You know what I mean? But in any other situation, be a man. You're like, it's always following something you clearly don't want to fucking do, but is going to benefit this person who's just announced and laid claim to your manhood, or else. Like, what the fuck you supposed to be? You know what I mean? Where's your testicles? Those are ovaries, sis, which are much larger. I think when people should, tangent, when people say, like, oh, you got some big balls, and like, not bigger than ovaries. Like, ovaries are substantially larger, sir. I think we should say that, like, you got some big ass ovaries. You're right. Facts. That's how we get rid of the toxic masculinity. You know what I mean? As we stop perpetuating dumbass shit, but also stop requiring men to do shit they don't feel comfortable doing. You know what I mean? Like, don't tell young boys that they can't have emotions. The fuck? Oh, don't cry. Oh, you a bitch. You have people's mothers telling them that. You have people's mothers telling their small child not to cry and using terms like, be a man. Don't be a bitch. Like, that's not even, I can't even call that toxic masculinity. like a reflection of it or whatever. Like that's literally toxic femininity. There were clips. Oh my God, I don't even know the boxer's name, but my man just won this huge bout. Did good, made his town proud, etc., etc. And they're doing like a whole interview where his mother basically says, "Oh, I told people to go whoop his ass." Yo, she literally said it. She was like, "Oh, I sent people to whoop his ass because he ain't shit." And now he's a world champion, and she's still on that same energy. I respect the consistency though, but still, like, what are you doing exactly? To your young son. Like that's the origins of that toxic shit. It's just not just in one space. Toxic femininity. There's other clips, that's it. It's crazy though, man, because we need unity, in our culture. And not us against them type of unity or whatever. Just, oh, you like me, let's get it done. Not even excluding anybody, because black people have never been that kind of folks. Everybody takes part in our culture. Everybody takes part in who we are. Everybody enjoys it. Some of us get paid well to do it. Is what it is. We're those people. We're very generous people. We're beautiful people. So I don't want us to be anything but that. But we definitely need to see ourselves. We need to see each other a lot better, And part of that starts with the, male-female relationships that we have, or whatever, those contradictory terms that come to us and try to present itself as, self-righteousness and indignation, but it's really like creating more separation. And there's a lot of stuff just like that. Everybody want us on their side, but at the expense sometimes of, what is more right or more good. And one of those spaces, and we toxic femininity, you're gonna talk about it, but some of these younger women who've gotten a hold of sort of this feminist energy, we're gonna be feminists. Like I'm a feminist, or at least I was okay with that term for myself for a long time, because I think women are amazing. Truly, I don't know how to calculate, fairness in my head, but women are substantially blessed. They are truly goddesses on this earth. Everything that I believe, I feel is implanted in them as people. I think it's both troubling and as a responsibility, I'm sure, but also beautiful and amazing, to be a woman, to know a woman, to be loved by a woman. That stuff it's amazing, so don't want to take anything away from that to say, you can't be the same kind of feminist that your white counterparts are. You can't be the same kind of, you know what I'm saying? You can't be the exact same kind of, because it's not the same shit. It's not the same shit. And I'll break it down to you on statistics, because I Googled that shit. Like, okay, what are we really talking about? So one of the major things is the wage gap is a huge thing. The wage gap. What the hell? Wage gap. It's real. It's a real thing. It exists. But you know who's making the most money though? White dudes, right? We know that already. But like right under him is not, black dudes. It's not black dudes underneath that. It's white women right underneath there. So when I hear like black women talk about feminism, I'm like, who you trying to be though? Like, because I understand the white woman, she's trying to be she's trying to get her just dues, you know, in a patriarchal society. Let me get what I'm supposed to get, you know, and she's comparing her pockets maybe to you know, her white counterpart. Who you comparing yourself to? Because she got more dollars than you. If anything, whatever that's called, you need some parallel feminism happening or something, because that racism is still a factor. And that's what it is. Other fucked up thing about the statistics is, from what I understood, what I read, most of the money made by black men happens 45-ish, 45-esque. That's when they make the most money. But statistically, we're not even supposed to make it to 25. Like, I've heard, I don't know that it's true. I haven't taken any surveys around town. I know plenty of 25-year-old black dudes, but maybe we're the lucky few. I don't know. But I definitely I dodged some stuff, you know, coming up that could have been the end of my life. So listen, if we're not even supposed to make it to 25 and we make most of our money at 45, however you're measuring those ratios and statistics, by the time you've measured them, you're measuring it by just the people who made it, which is going to be a small group who obviously is going to be doing better because that's how they made it that far, made it to that age in the first place. And then even with that factored in, from what I understood, what I read, the wage gap between black women and black men is only about $1,000 a year. Now, I know that's not nothing, ladies, but what the fuck? You can't have a whole movement over $1,000 a month. That's one raise. You can't have a whole movement over one raise. Come on now. So I just feel like when people talk about feminism, we got to put it in context. Like, we doing parallel feminism because that's what the fuck you need. Because that white lady is beating your ass with the dollars. It's like, you know, I'm looking at Taraji, you know, crying over $2 million. I cannot feel bad for you, my sister. God bless you. Don't be crying to me about $2 million. And you got to be in the movie. I'm sorry, I can't do it. I cannot. I work so hard. Yeah, so does the garbage man. But he didn't get paid $2 million. I worked so hard. I'm sorry. God bless you, sweetheart. I can't though. I cannot with you. Yeah, so I can't with that. That's like not even first world problems. That's that 1% kind of almost. No, it's not 1%, but I mean $2 million, bro. And you crying like you done really lost some. Damn, I only got $2 million. I can't stand this. Wow. But I don't know. I thought the same thing when Monique did that whole thing, because I don't think she's funny. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't find her amusing, and that's okay because there's plenty of people who do, and she don't need my approval. God bless her. But that whole thing where she was like, "Oh, Netflix," I'm like, sis, just sis. And she counting other people's monies and I can't. And you know, and that's cool. And being anywhere near that same level or genre, you know, maybe that's when someone could really have, you know, an opinion that matters. But I'm just gonna say what it is. Toxic femininity. It's toxic as fuck, man. Like, why are you even doing that? You know, really compare it to the other stuff too. You know, I mean, put it in some context. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, what's funny is like Monique's complaint was actually about whatever that young lady's name is. I and she was white. It was a white young lady. So it kind of just confirms kind of the idea too, even though I was like kind of, I don't know, Mo, but it kind of just, it reiterates that idea that, if you're going to be a feminist, maybe let's try some parallel feminism because racism is always going to be the first factor in a lot of the stuff dealing with black folks because we have so much to unpack, you know what I mean, in this culture, in this country. It's just always going to be one of those things. So yeah, I look at situations on the news that I had no freaking idea what happened or what's going on. It's somebody else's business. I don't really know what's happening, but, becomes object lesson and people talk about it. So, here's a conversation. But Jonathan Majors. Bro, he was in every film. We don't even talk about that. They talk about how there can only be one famous black person at a time. They say it all the time. But then, there's that. Everybody's film. He's like this young Samuel Jackson, only like a leading character, in a lot of the stuff, Sam does every single thing, but anyway, the guy's awesome. But, yeah. And then met young lady, apparently on the set, and then advised her that she should be more like Claretta, and that simultaneously ended his relationship with all of black female America and white America at the same time. But every time I hear stuff like that, I'm always thinking, how am I hearing this? Because let's examine how I came upon this information in particular. This young lady, drunk off her booty cheeks, apparently, at the time, and phone still charged, which is a miracle in and of itself. Like, after a night of being drunk and your phone is still charged, that's already a minor miracle. And manages to fumble her thumbs to a recorder or something and press it and then hold it there while sniffling tears. And this is the clip broadcast to all of the universe. And it's a clip about her basically not being black. You know what I mean? It's not, because he didn't say, I need someone like Ivanka, I need my Ivanka. No, he didn't say, like, I need a, he didn't say, I need a Jackie O or Princess Diana or whatever. He didn't give her even a contextual, cultural reference for her, lineage or whatever, to put it sensitively. He gave her a reference for himself. You know what I mean? There've been some, there's been some awesome women in every culture, Women are powerful people, So he could have picked some people that people love and that were, politically sound, Jackie O, what JFK did for, civil rights that's not unknown, that's a real thing. So he could have picked somebody. He could have picked someone, that was pale like her, melanin deficient in the same manner. But yeah, the fact that that's what was broadcast, that was intentional. Come on. And to have the presence of mind, drunk off your booty cheeks, to record that's some diabolical stuff to me. Anyway, but yeah, I need a Coretta. So there's like 50, major and minor and amateur blogs about how he was wrong for wanting a Coretta. He's like, black women don't have to save your ass and whoop-de-whoop. Like, Yo, he's just saying he don't want her to be drunk off her booty cheeks. That he wants to feel, supported in a way that makes him feel inspired. That's all he was saying, and not well, but he was saying it. you know, Black women ain't gotta save you. There's all kind of titles on the internet, and you have the person who wrote it standing there looking extra single. Like, there's no way that you came to this understanding through a healthy relationship. There's no way that you wrote this article out of sheer love and inspiration from your spouse or significant other. There's no way. This is bitterness. Digital bitterness is what you were spreading, ma'am. But yeah, that's cold what they did to him. Yeah, I feel for the brother. But he has a vehicle. He has a vehicle, so he's already there. Like, he can do it. He can do it. And I don't know if he's a good person or not. I don't know nothing about his life. I don't know, smacking people up or what. I don't know what he does. But I know this, like running down the street trying to escape from the. Like, come on now. Come on now. And they didn't even accuse her of nothing. Like, that's some serious strategy, like saboteur type stuff, man. That's sabotaging. They had him running down the street on CCTV and the girl chasing him down the block, and then they didn't even accuse him of actually, harming her on purpose. They said, you might have accidentally brushed by and then she wound up being hurt. Like, wow. Like, that's not even a real conviction. Like, you might as well just said, you didn't do shit. You might as well just said it like, I mean, you shouldn't have been dating that white girl, but you didn't really do nothing. You might as well have just said that and then let him go about his business. But, not a few months earlier, another Disney employee, right? Miss Amber Heard, and he whooped my ass. Like, she was getting all the acting chops was chopping, and she still lost. Yo, tears, freaking years of documentation, everything. But yo, that's Johnny Depp. Come on now. Come on, that's Jack Sparrow. You can't be no. And he whooped my ass. Although some of her complaints was like, we had sex. I'm like, yeah, but it was weird. Yeah, it probably was. But but also that's a whitish dude. I guess he has some other cultural references, whatever. Native American, something like that. Respect, Got on my moccasins right now. No mockery. Moccasins, no mockery. But yeah, he's passing for white, essentially, Johnny Depp, and even though it's a white woman with the tears like this, and Johnny Depp has a history too. I mean, I used to watch him on 21 Jump Street. Younger cats, they don't even remember that. Jack Sparrow was 21 Jump Street? No, that's fucking Tatum and dude. Like, no, that was Johnny Depp. Richard Grieco. These guys are passing away, man. Wow. I know, sheesh, it just made me, I just thought about it, like, these guys are getting so old that they're passing away and stuff. But not Richard Grieco, though. I think he's still around, but I'm thinking about 90210, that whole thing. But yeah, back in the day, 21 Jump Street. So he had like a history and stuff in Hollywood. Like we can't fully cancel somebody that's got like roots down to the ground type. Whitish, like, I'm sorry, Amber who? I heard hearing, Amber hearing. Sorry, miss. Jonathan Majors is newish and extra brown. So, he went from major to minor, like 2 clicks. Sucks. Yeah, but, toxic femininity. Yeah, that's premeditated, bro. That's premeditated. There's no way that she didn't plot and plan that man's demise to record some conversation and then release just the section of that conversation with a little spice. And you know, a little spice for the people who are just quasi-racist, you know, and be like Coretta King, like Martin Luther King. Like they in the process of erasing Martin Luther King out of the history books right now, literally, like in places like Florida and Texas, like literally scrubbing him out. They're redacting him out of history books right now, and you mention her name to a white lady that you're dating. Toxic femininity. Yeah, I mean, that's just terrible, man. He does need a Coretta. I'm not going to lie. He needs a woman with some, but she can't be a dancer who likes going to parties. I just can't, don't start there. Meet a girl at the library. Don't meet her on set, bro. I know, I can't give advice. I don't know what I'm doing either. God bless you, bro. I hope it works out for him. Sheesh.